Our next unit focuses on the Indian subcontinent, and that's chapter 21 in our textbook. What we talked about on the first day of class really was about our objectives for this unit, and you can see them here. They're listed on this page. They are that we're going to identify some of the unique features of the physical geography that make up the Indian subcontinent. We're going to examine some various climates and resources that are found here on the subcontinent, determine which ancient civilizations and empires had a greater impact on the history and culture of India, and finally we wanted to dissect the features of traditional and modern India that are uniquely blended together today. We started out this section talking about some important vocabulary in Lesson 1. And those terms were subcontinent, Mount Everest, the Ganges River, Delta, the Indus River, and monsoons. We looked up those vocabulary terms and we placed them on our chart. The subcontinent is an area of land that is smaller than a continent. In this instance, we are talking about the Indian subcontinent, so it is a proper noun, a capitalized noun, so to speak. It's a specific area of land that we're focusing on, and it consists of 7 countries: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. We call it the subcontinent because we call this area the subcontinent because they all sit on the same tectonic plate. I know that in 7th grade, right around this time, you guys are talking about plate tectonics and the shifting of those plates underneath Earth's surface. All of these countries fit on one plate, and that's why they have labeled this area of the world the subcontinent. Mount Everest is the mountain that you're looking at here in the picture. It is the tallest mountain in the world. It is part of the largest mountain range in the world, the Himalayas. And they are on the northeast portion of the subcontinent. The Ganges River is one of the most it's the most important river in India, but one of the important river systems that are part of the subcontinent. It connects with a couple other river systems and empties out into the Bay of Bengal. A delta, you'll find a delta at the end of a lot of these river systems as they dump out into an ocean or a sea. What happens is the sediments that are carried along these river systems, they are deposited at the mouth of the river. And you'll see this kind of triangular area of silt and sand that is deposited there. That is a delta. The Indus River is on the subcontinent. It's in the country that is today Pakistan, and it is the most important river system in Pakistan, and it's very important because much like in Mesopotamia, when we talked about the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers and how civilizations formed there, at the exact same time that civilizations were being formed around those two river systems, they are being formed around the Indus River Valley. And finally, monsoons are seasonal winds that bring rain, or a wet season or a dry season, depending on the time of the year and the direction that the winds are blowing. As we look here at this map, we can see a lot of the different physical features that are happening here in India. For instance, if we are to look at the northeastern portion of the subcontinent, right along the northeastern part of Pakistan, India, Nepal, and Bhutan, you'll see that area right there that I just drew in green, and I probably could have picked a little bit better color than green for that. That area is the Himalayan mountains, one of the physical features that are there. In the northwest portion of Pakistan, along the Pakistan and Afghanistan border, we will find another mountain range, the Hindu Kush Mountains. There are 2 other major kind of mountain ranges here that we talk about. Along the eastern coast of India, we have the Eastern Ghats, And along the western coast of India, we have the Western Ghats mountain ranges. So going back again, we have along here our Himalayas. Here we have our Hindu Kush, our Eastern Ghats, and our Western Ghats. Our Indus River that I was talking about, where we have our civilizations, our first civilizations popping up around the same time as Mesopotamia and on that Fertile Crescent, is located there in Pakistan. And our Ganges River system is right here. It empties in Bangladesh out into the Bay of Bengal, and right there at the mouth we would find our deltas. Those are just some of the physical features that we find here in the subcontinent. A couple other things I want to mention at this time here, dealing with the physical features. Right here in the south central portion of India, we have an area known as the Deccan Plateau. You remember from class that a plateau is kind of like a mountain. It sits very high up, approximately, most geographers say about 10,000 feet above sea level, and then it is leveled off flat on top. So it's a flat-topped mountain is what we see, and that is right there in central India. We have the Thar Desert, which is a very dry area in northwestern India. That is an important region as well. In this area of India, they get less than 4 inches of rainfall per year. So it is a very, very dry place. Now, India has, and the subcontinent as a whole, has a variety of climates and natural resources available for consumption. In the Himalayan regions, you can see on the map, it's marked pretty easily there. They have rather cool temperatures in Nepal and Bhutan. In the plain regions south of the Himalayas, and we would be talking about these areas right here, in those areas it's going to be more of a humid and subtropical climate. Hot, humid summers, plenty of rainfall during the summertime there. And then the rest of the subcontinent, the rest of this area is going to experience tropical climates. It's going to be warm all year long. In the summertime, it's going to be wet, and during the wintertime, they're going to have very dry seasons. Those seasons, the wet and dry seasons, are caused by the monsoon winds that blow here on this, that impact the subcontinent. And you can see them here in this map as we scroll down a little bit. And let me get our page number out of the way. These are seasonal winds. Now, the blue arrows that are on this map, they represent the summer monsoon winds. You can see that they are blowing from the Arabian Sea, from the southeast, or from the southwest, towards the northeast, up towards the Himalayan mountains. Since those winds are beginning over top of a body of water, the Arabian Sea, they are going to pick up moisture, and they are going to dump that moisture on the land once they hit landfall. So when the winds are blowing from the southeast, they're going to bring with them moisture and rain, precipitation. When we get to about September and winter begins, the temperature, or the winds, they shift directions. They begin up near the Himalayan mountains in the northeast, and they are going to blow southwest. Since they are beginning over top of land, those winds are going to be dry winds, and they are going to bring a very dry season. On the next slide, you're going to see the impact of the monsoon winds. In the upper left-hand corner, the picture there is of the rainy season, and you can tell on the subcontinent there, where this picture was taken, it's very green, it's very lush, because they're getting plenty of rainfall. In the lower right-hand corner, the picture that is there is of the dry season, complete opposite. Everything is brown out and kind of dead.